Hello friends, I am Ronak and I want to share my experience with XLR. So I was enrolled in XLR for a software testing course, and I have to say right from the start of the course we were provided with the best service. I feel the quality of teaching in the course is the best, with live lectures every day, separate doubt sessions and also recorded sessions if you have missed the sessions or you just want to revise. Throughout the course, we learned manual testing, Java, SQL, Selenium, and TestNG framework. After the learning part was completed, interview preparation sessions were also conducted. So, proper guidance was given by the faculty, assignments were given to be completed, and group projects were taken, as well as we had to make individual projects, which proved to be very beneficial for us in sharpening our skills as well. So, mock interviews were also held to make sure we get good placements. Finally, I got placed in many companies. So, as my personal experience, it's the best institute to join if your dream is to get a job in IT and make a good career in IT. So, just go for it.
Hi, I'm Sai Akhil and I'm working as a process consultant and data analyst in Siemens Technologies Private Limited. After joining XLR on my first day to the classroom, so I went there. I was really nervous because I'm entirely new to data science and data science is like an ocean. So I felt like how would it be, how would the faculty teach me and everything. The faculty was really good. They went on about teaching things in a really specific manner. What problems would you face as a data scientist and how would you solve it? So they explained everything in that manner. The business knowledge which XLR imparts on a student, so that's something which is really valuable. One more great thing about XLR is that there are really good value added courses which are provided to me for free without any extra fee, like Tableau, cloud engineering and big data engineering and some really good courses which are in demand in the market, which what to be learned along with the data science to be a good data scientist. So they gave me a jumbo pass where they will give you all the training videos, provide you with all the training videos and some new videos which were about to come as well. So those videos I used to refer whenever I get stuck in work. It is like the bond that never ends for us and XLR. So that's a really great thing. I would definitely, without a doubt, I would say that XLR would be the best institute.
Hello all, myself Amit Kulkarni, currently working as associate consultant in Bristlecone, a Mahindra group of companies. A good thing which I see in XLR solution is that the feedback loop which runs here. So the model in XLR is such where student is not getting a one-way traffic where he is just learning and going to home. Here after the student is getting enough data to learn, he is given assignments bi-weekly or sometimes weekly. These assignments are coming up with some deadlines, like the deadlines you meet up in a industry where you work in. Those assignments come with a few set of questions and sometimes with a problem statement also. After getting a check from assignment team and mock interview results, the placement team moves our resume to their to the respective companies via HR. I got a call from Bristlecone company where the interview was scheduled, and the good things which I can share is that the questions which were asked were quite similar to that of what mock interview was scheduled. So after clearing 2 rounds with Bristlecone, I got selected, and currently I am working there as associate data engineer specifically, and my day-to-day work depends from varying types of tasks, from data quality to data science levels.
Hello everyone, my name is Ashish Gupta and I am a BBA graduate. So after graduation I was thinking what to do, like how to upgrade my skills and unlock my potential. Then I got to know about XLR and here I had enrolled for data analytics and data science course. So after joining the course, the teachers here are very helpful and experienced. They helped me a lot in clearing my doubts and all the topics. So after completing the course, then the assignments, the mock interview, the placement team guided me in finding the best possible job. Here, the real life projects and resume building sessions are really helpful. They helped me a lot in my interviews. Eventually, from XLR, I got placed at Triveni Enterprises, where I work as a marketing strategy analyst. So, hence, I would highly suggest XLR to students who are looking for a future in data science and data analytics. And a big thumbs up for XLR.
Hey, I'm Rashmi Sarur. I joined for the Jan 2023 Selenium course wherein we were given knowledge of software testing from scratch. The course covered both manual and automation training and also included live projects that helped me enhance my knowledge. Apart from training, the institute also provides pre-placement sessions and mock interviews that help me understand my weak points. They also provide placement opportunities across the country, through which I got placed at P-Test, Bangalore as test associate. I really thank the team for their efforts and their constant support. I highly recommend XLR for those who are looking for a professional course to kickstart their career. Thank you.
Hi, I am Shilpa. I am from Bangalore. I hold bachelor's degree in engineering. I had been working in non-IT field since 2013 to 2019, and later I did my course in software testing in XLR. During the training, I had a very good learning experience. The trainers were very good. We had a separate assignment sessions and we had a project sessions also. I got an opportunity to work on real-time projects, which is helping me in my career today also. I suggest everyone to go with XLR, as I am proud to say that I got an opportunity to work with, and even after having a gap of 3 years and switching my domain from non-IT to IT, I got lot of opportunities in terms of job. So thanks to XLR.
Hello, this is Sriram R. Shankar and I've been the part of XLR for an year or so. I've previously completed my Python internship, which was core Python internship, and it was actually working on core Python, which also had project deployment in Python, which included data structures and very deep knowledge of Python. Since 6 months this year, I have been the part of full stack web development course at XLR. Interestingly, after 2.5 months or so since I started my course, I also got placed into a company called Central Technologies here in Bangalore, and I've been there for like 2 months for now. The full stack web development course had a lot of parts which were taught to the students, which included mainly front-end technologies, back-end technologies, and deployment using the databases. So the front-end technologies included popular technologies such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the back-end included Java and Spring Boot. So the front-end technologies or back-end technologies both were taught right from the scratch. So even a student or a candidate who was from his or her non-technical background could easily was able to learn the technical stuff that was provided from XLR. Apart from this, there were online materials that were to be accessed anytime the student wanted, and we also were given live projects, assignments repeatedly. The tests were conducted from the institute, which gave me a lot of confidence in facing the interviews. Also, when I was selected from XLR, I was placed at a company called Central Technologies. I was actually posted to an ML intern post. Even later, Later, even after getting placed, I was constantly in touch with the team. They asked me about how the work experience was, how I was feeling personally working at Sandrol. So we always had that touch with the XLR team. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity that was provided by XLR and the placement. They have been my constant support that I always wanted. Thank you, XLR.
Hello everyone, this is Vidhi Vinoj Kurup and currently I'm working as a data analyst in Gartner INC, and I would like to be very thankful to the XLR Solutions that they provided me such a good direction throughout my journey, throughout the course. And talking about my background, like I was completely from the academician's field. I was a research scholar and I used to deliver lectures in the senior colleges. So you can understand, like I made a career switch from academics to the corporate, and it was challenging, I can say, but you should overcome it, and that's all all about our life. So I can say, like, if talking about the course in XLR, it is bit it is not bit a lot of interactive sessions you can see every day. Whatever, if you are coming out of the doubts, the mentors are always ready.
Good evening, all. Good evening, Ashwini ma'am. Is my voice audible? Guys, anyone confirm? Okay, Ashwini ma'am, you're there? Ashwini ma'am, yeah, are you there?
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am, you can go ahead and start the
I'm
session.
audible?
Yeah, you are audible now.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am, you
fine,
can
fine.
just start the
Okay,
session
let
now.
me share the screen.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Good evening, all. Good evening, Nageshwara. Let me just give me a minute.
Guys, I had given you
Good
unmute.
evening. Oh,
You can just unmute and you can speak up. Students, you can unmute yourself.
acha, you have given them access, yeah?
Yes, they have an access.
Oh. We started off with the basics, like what do you understand by a software? What do you understand by application? What do you understand by a application? What do you understand by a software? 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 What do you understand by a softw what are the different types of applications, difference between product, project, will be present in your companies when you're dealing with the project. Okay, so let's move on to a very important concept, that is, okay, so in testing, it should be a very important concept. Okay, SDLC, okay, which stands for Software Development Life Cycle. Okay, so whenever a customer whenever a customer or client approaches a company, what is the first thing the customer or client should give? What should be given first? Yes, we discussed this yesterday. Anyone? Requirements. Very good. Right? So without requirements, nothing can be executed. Right? So this requirements, as you all know, it's given to whom? Who is the first person who deals with the requirements? Data analyst. Your volume is too low, Nageshwar Rao. Just check with your volume. It's the business analyst, guys. Yes, okay. Yes. Okay. You got confused with BADA. No problem. Okay. So there is a business analyst in the company who is the first person who will be indirectly in contact with the who takes the requirements. Okay. Once the requirements are given, there is a next phase, which is design phase. Okay. Phase, there is a whole lot of a pictorial representation of the design. Okay, the modules will be divided into high level design, into low level design. Okay, the complex modules or the very important modules, they'll put under the category high level, and the other modules will be put under low level. Okay, once the design is finalized, okay, then there comes the team which is development. That is, okay, so developers are into the picture, where based on the design, okay, based on the representation which is submitted by the design team, now the development team starts writing the code. Okay, for all the modules or the whole application, this team starts developing the code. Okay, once the coding part is done, who comes into picture? It's the testing team. Okay, so testers are the team who are responsible to test the software, to test the modules. Okay, so once the testing is done, then there is deployment. Deployment means release of an application. In simple words, this is a little technical terminology. Deployment is nothing but release of an application. Okay, and the last step is maintenance. Okay, so these are the 6 phases. These are the 6 phases any application should undergo while we are developing it. Okay, whenever we say we are developing a software application, so these are the 6 phases which it undergoes. Okay, firstly we'll be having requirements. Then based on the requirements, the design is finalized. Based on the design, the developers start writing the code. Once the code is done, the testers test the code. Once the whole application is ready, then the application is released. Okay. Post the release of an application, we have one phase, which is maintenance phase. This I'll discuss in detail. Just give me a couple of minutes. Okay. Let's go to this picture. Okay. Can you see this picture, which is representing SDLC? Everybody? Okay. So SDLC is a process which includes various phases that are followed to develop what? Software application. Any application you want to develop, So these are the mandatory phases which it has to go through. Look at the picture carefully. The very first is a requirement phase. Okay. So once the requirements are finalized, what are the finalized requirements called? Remember yesterday I said you BRD is converted into what? SRS. What does SRS stands for, guys? Output of requirement phase is SRS. What is SRS? Just in case if you forgot, system requirement specification. Okay, this is more of a technical document where the business analyst will convert the BRD, that is business requirement document, into what? He will be converting into SRS. Okay, initially when the client when the BA, okay, the business analyst, when he receives the requirement, these are more of a business logic related. That is, they are more of a non-technical. Okay. So this non-technical document should be converted into technical document because the developing team, the testing team, we people should understand it. For that purpose, BRD is converted into SRS, which stands for System Requirement Specification. So what is the output? What is the output of requirement phase, guys? After the analysis is done by business analyst and the BRD is converted to SRS, what is the final output which we have? What is the output of requirement phase? It's right on the screen. Guys, what is the output of requirement phase? SRS, right? So this output will act as an input to the next phase. Okay, the next phase is what? Analysis and design. Okay, then here it is classified into high level design and then it is classified into low level design. So this is the output of analysis and design phase, which will now be the input to the implementation. Implementation is just another word of coding or development. Okay, everything means the same. Whatever words you want to, you can use. Implementation, coding, development, they all mean the same. So once the developers do the coding part and they send the modules to what? The next team. Okay, so this code is nothing but the input to the testing team. Okay, so now the testers will start testing the code with respect to the requirements. Once the testing is done, then the application is ready for what? Release. Deployments means what? Deployment means release of an application. Okay, what is maintenance? Post the release of an application, how do we manage the application? Okay, that is, there should be help section. Like for example, if a user is finding a problem with using the application, so the help section should be given. So these all fall under maintenance. Okay. So guys, even when we buy a simple mobile, do we all get a user manual with this? Whenever we buy a new mobile, do we all get user manual? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Guys, you need to be interactive, else it becomes very difficult for me whether you're following or not following. I'll not understand that. Huh? So whenever we buy a mobile, don't we get a user manual with the mobile?
No, ma'am.
Yes, we get it, right? We
Yes.
all know. For example, we are Android buyers. Okay. For example, we buy the mobiles which are usually of Android. So we know how to, already we know how to operate it. We know how to start your device. We know where the volume keys are, everything. We know the setting section. We are already well versed with it. But still, whenever we get a mobile, we are always getting a user manual. Why do you think user manual is given? So that it guides us. Okay, it guides us to use a new device. The same way, guys, whenever an application is released, we will be having one document. So when the user is very new to the application, so with the help of this user manual, he will be able to use the application. So these all come under what? Maintenance phase. Are you getting the difference, everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, na? Okay. Chalo. We'll go to the phases one by one. I'll just take you to the pointers. So this is just the representation. Okay. As you can see, The requirement phase. What is the requirement phase? What all things we need to analyze in this phase? The very first phase is what? Requirement phase. What do we analyze? Firstly, feasibility study. That is, can we do it to the expected level or is it possible to do within the budget? As I mentioned you yesterday, every customer or a client, he comes up with this particular budget and a schedule. Agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. He will come with a particular budget and he will also come with a particular schedule. Okay, he cannot wait for us, wait for a week. We cannot take years together to give him one application, right? He certainly has a schedule and he certainly has his budget limit. Okay, so if this person, customer is giving us a budget and schedule, what do? First, we will analyze. Oh, is it possible? Is it possible to meet his expectation? Will we be able to give the application in the budget and the schedule? Okay, this analysis will be done in requirement phases. Okay, then what does it need to do? We have to detail them out. What all requirements he has given, we have to detail them out. That is what he wants from this particular requirement. Okay, those are done under requirements elicitation analysis. Then we have validation. Whatever requirements he has given, does it all make any sense? Are there any requirements which simply do not make any sense? So guys, if some requirements are not making sense, can we eliminate them in this stage? Possible? Is it possible?
Yeah,
Yes,
I think it
ma'am.
is possible.
Yes, we can eliminate, right? If in case we do not eliminate, what happened? The defects will be carry forwarded. Remember yesterday I was saying you early testing is very important, right? So if some requirements which are given by the customer or client, if they do not make sense, they can be eliminated. So these all things we need to analyze. Okay. Whatever he has given, can we do it in a budget and a schedule? Okay. And for this particular requirements, what are the resources we need to do? And finally, we need to do the project plan. Okay. Always remember, project plan is created by your project manager. It's a very important document, okay, which is done by a project manager. So after all these analysis, guys, what is the output? Deliverables means this is a technical term. Just don't get, don't freak out. It just means output. Deliverable means, in simple word, output. That is, from this particular phase, what is the output which we have got? What is the output, guys? After analyzing all of this, what is the finalized document called as? This is very important in testing. Yes.
SRS.
Always remember, okay? The finalized document, full and final document is nothing but SRS. That is System Requirement Specification, or you can also call it as Software Requirement Specification. Clear? Clear with the requirement phase, everyone?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Good, good. Chalo, let's move on to the next phase. So the output of requirement phase is now SRS. Now this will be input to the next phase, that is analysis and design. Okay, one second, let me erase this. Then we have analysis and design. What is the activity we perform? Firstly, the design phase is divided into high-level design and low-level design. High-level design is also called as HLD in short, and low-level design is called as LLD. Okay. So based on like the most important modules or the complicated modules, okay, these will be put under high-level design, or the less complicated modules, these will be put under low level design. Okay. So based, these all are things which are analyzed in the design phase. Then output of this is, we'll be having an architectural plan. We will be having a database design. Then every application has its own screen. So the screen design, the module design, that is the individual module design, everything will be detailed out, guys. Usually this design phase is more of a pictorial representation. Okay. Based on this design, the coding team will start what? Coding. Implementation means coding. Okay. So what do the programmers do? They are responsible for what? Writing the program or coding, interlinking the modules, then debugging, that is removing the errors whenever you are running the code. Then we do unit level testing. Always remember, developers are the people who are going to do unit level testing, because in testing, there are 4 levels of testing. One is unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and the last is user acceptance testing. Okay. The first level of testing is always done by the development team. Okay. So what is that we get? We get the final code. After doing all this, after writing the code, the one output which we get from the coding team is the proper working code. Now, what does this testing team do? Testing team will start testing the application. Okay, that is each and every module which they receive, they start testing that module. Okay, checking of implemented functionality with respect to requirements and tracking the defects till closure. What is the job of a testers? Defects. What do you mean by defects, guys? Yesterday we discussed this. What is a defect?
It's called as a bug, madam, actually.
Defect, yes, it's an alternate name. Defect or bug, both are the same. But what do you understand by the concept defect? Bhargavi, even you were there yesterday.
Deviation of expecting or actual behavior.
Very good. Absolutely right. The deviation between the expected result and actual result is nothing but what? Defect. Suppose while entering valid credentials, you should be logged in into the application. But when you are not allowed into login application and some error message is being thrown, that means what? It's a defect. So as a tester, what is our job? Our job is to test the application and report the defects. Okay, this is what a tester will be doing. Output of testing team will be test scenario, test cases, test scripts, and defect report. Don't worry, these things you'll understand in further classes when I start when I introduce you more deeply into the testing concepts, or when we dive more into testing concepts. At that time, you'll understand scenario, test cases, and scripts. Okay, for today, it will be very difficult for you. Then deployment means, what do you mean by deployment, guys? Release of an application. Okay. So once testing is done, what is our job? We have to release the application. That is, we have to hand over the application to the customer. So whenever you're giving the application to the customer, what you should give? You should also give them the user manual, so that because the application is new, when the person is installing it, when the person is trying to work on the application for the very first time, any difficulties he faces should be resolved with the help of what? User manual. So that's why we give user manual while the release of an application. And the last phase is maintenance. What do we do? Improve future maintainability. That is, when an application is released, future maintainability is also important. Okay. Correct errors or defects. Whenever we encounter any new defects, we should be able to also fix them. Adaptability to changing environment. Perfective means new capabilities and enhancement. Don't worry, I'll explain you this. Hold on. One important word in testing is test environment. What is test environment? Okay. What is test environment? Test environment means the hardware and the software specifications, okay, which our system has, okay, the hardware and the software specification. For example, I am using a laptop, okay, for example, I'm using a laptop where certain software, for example, my operating system is, okay, Windows 11. Listen to me this carefully. My operating system which I'm using currently is Windows 11, and it's of version 22H2 something roughly. Okay. Then it's of a 64-bit processor. Okay. Okay. And the language which I use my whole system is in English, definitely. Okay. And the RAM which I'm using is somewhere about 8 GB. So do you all agree? These are the hardware and the software specifications of my laptop. Everyone? Yes. Are you all here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So these are the specifications of Ashwini's laptop. That doesn't mean Bhargavi, Nageshwar Rao, as well as Janvi, all three of them have the same specification. Do you all have the same specifications?
No, ma'am.
Definitely not, right? That means everybody's hardware and software specification varies. That means everybody's test environment is different. Now, Amazon application is working fine in my device. Should Amazon application not work in your device just because your test environment is different? Should it happen so? This is my question. Should it happen like that? It should work on only Ashwini's device because she is using Windows 11, and it should not work on Bhargavi's device because she is using something else. Does it happen like that? Amazon application?
No, ma'am.
No. That means your application which we are developing should be adaptive to the changing environment. That means there are millions of people out in the world and everybody's test environment differs. Test environment means hardware and the software specifications. In whatever test environment you're trying to run the application, it should be working fine. These are the things which we need to check under maintenance phase. Are you all following, guys, this concept? What is maintenance?
Yes, following, madam.
Following now? So this is very important when we are releasing the application. Okay. It's see, even WhatsApp works on Macintosh also, WhatsApp works on Android also. Why? Because it is developed in change of environment. It will get adapted itself in whatever environment it is. And also they should adapt to any new capabilities and enhancement. Enhancement means adding new feature. Okay. Whenever a new feature is added on a WhatsApp, does an WhatsApp application crash or hang for a couple of days? Does it happen? Did it ever happen? No, right? The application is absolutely working fine with new updation in the sense whenever the new features are added to the application still should be working fine. Okay, these come under what? Perfective. Okay, that means whenever you're releasing an application, you should make sure the application should work fine in the different environment. The application should be adaptive whenever you're trying to add a new feature, and it should also help us whenever we are trying to correct the defect or make any future changes. These all are the things which are looked under maintenance phase. Are you all clear with this concept? Everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, just a second, guys. Just a second. Any doubts so far? in the SDLC process? Any doubts? Clear? Okay. So this is SDLC, where we have requirement phase, we have design phase, we have implementation phase, we have testing phase, deployment, and lastly, we have maintenance phase. Okay. So now let us see some SDLC models, which we used to use before, but currently we are using agile model. Okay. In companies, the model which is very primarily used is agile, which is the also called as agile methodology. But before that, we will see a waterfall model, which was used before, but currently which is not being used now. But let us see what is this waterfall model. Okay. So waterfall model, it's also called as linear model. This is nothing but one of the SDLC model, that is software development life cycle. The phases remains the same, guys. The whole process is the same. Okay. Just the working, the advantages, the disadvantages, these are different with respect to each of the models. Okay. As you can see, the very first phase is requirement analysis. Then we have design. Then we have implementation, that is coding part. Then we have testing. Then we have deployment. And lastly, we have what? Maintenance phase. Okay. So can you see from the picture? Why can you tell me why is it named as waterfall model? Anyone looking at the picture? Why is it named as waterfall model? Anyone? Bhargavi? Janvi? Anita? Nobody wants to
It
try it?
shows water, ma'am.
Very good,
From
very good, very good. Absolutely right. The picture is representing what? The flow of water, right? So the way the flow of water is from upwards to downwards. It's not vice versa, right? So the flow of water is from upwards to downwards, the same way this particular model looks. That's why it is named as waterfall model, or we can also call it as linear model. Okay. So now what is this waterfall model? In waterfall model, the output of one phase will be the input to the next phase. Okay. The output of one phase will be the input to the next phase. Okay. Requirement analysis output will be SRS. That will be input to what? Design phase. Now, what is the output of design phase? It is nothing but high level design, and what is one more? HLD and LLD. Yes, high level design and low level design. So this will be an input to implementation phase. Now, implementation is nothing but the code. Now, code is nothing but the code, or the program is nothing but it will be input to the testing phase. Now, as a testers, we will be writing, that is, we will be writing the test cases, we will be writing the scenarios, we will be testing it and raising the defects. Once the testing is done, that means the application is ready for the deployment phase. And the last is maintenance phase. So waterfall model, guys, this is the oldest. Okay. This is the oldest, or this is also called as the traditional model. Okay. Waterfall model is the oldest, and it is also called as the traditional model, which we used to use before. Okay. And not much now in today's world, where the market requirement keeps on changing. It is not possible. Why? Because it has certain disadvantages. Okay. Can you see from the picture? Do you all agree? Testing is coming very late in this phase. Testing is coming very late in this phase. That is, the part where we detect the defects is very late. Do you all agree to this?
Agree, ma'am.
Yes, that means after requirement, there is a design phase. That is, until and unless requirement phase is not completed, design phase cannot be started. And until and unless coding is not done, testing is not possible because output of each phase are input to the next phase. And testing is coming very, very late in the model. So, for example, the defects are in the requirement phase. Then what happens? It is carry forwarded to next phase. It will be carry forwarded to the next phase. Again, when you are testing, only then you will be able to detect it. So what is the disadvantage of waterfall model? The very important is testing phase comes very late. Okay. By this time, we will have lot of defects. Okay. So testing comes very late and this model cannot be used for complex project. Okay. Where requirements keeps on changing. That means in waterfall model, guys, requirements are freezed. Okay, what is this requirements are freezed? For example, a customer comes to us, okay, and he gives us some 10 requirements. Okay, like what are the 10 requirements? Let us assume he is giving us WhatsApp. WhatsApp is his application which is asking us to build it. So he is giving us requirements. What are the requirements? That is chat box, voice call, video call, display picture, creating the groups, sharing contacts. Okay, these all, let us assume these are the 10 requirements. So what are full and final requirements? 10. Okay. Now once the requirements are finalized, the design team will design it, the coding team will code it, and the testing team will be testing it. Now, just in case the customer comes after couple of days with again 2 requirements, he says, now I want to add 2 more requirements to the application. In waterfall model, we simply do not accept. Are you getting, guys? Are you getting this point? Waterfall model do not accept the requirement changes. So this is one of the biggest disadvantage of waterfall model where the requirement changes are not allowed. Okay. The requirements are freezed. Okay. It is suitable only for small project, guys, where only 10 requirements are there. They are full and final. We'll develop it, design it, test it, and give it. For complex models, these waterfall model is not suitable. Do you feel for Amazon, Myntra, should we use waterfall model where requirement changes keep on changing? There is updation in the application every now and then. Is it suitable for such applications, guys? Is waterfall model suitable for such applications? Yes. All 4 participants. Do you think waterfall model is suitable for Myntra, Amazon, or Ajio, Misho?
No, madam. I think not.
No, right? Because the requirements keep on changing. They are updating the application every now and then. And in waterfall model, what we are saying? We are straight away saying we do not accept any requirement change. Bas ek hi baar, full and final, give the requirements, we'll execute and we'll give it. So this model, guys, it is suitable only for small projects. Okay, where there is no requirement changes. Okay, where requirements are freeze. This project is suitable under such situation. Everybody understood what is waterfall model?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is a very important and oldest model which is used. Okay. But currently we do not use this. But it's still suitable for only small projects, not for complex projects. Okay. Whatever I've explained, the same are here in the pointers. The waterfall model is a continuous software development model in which development is seen as flowing steadily downwards. That's why it is named as what? Waterfall. It is what? Old or traditional model which was used by companies. Advantages? Before the next phase of development, each phase must be completed. That's how it is. Okay. That's why output of one phase will be the input to the next phase. Then it is only suited for what? Smaller projects where requirements are well defined. Okay. If a customer is having 10 requirements where he is clearly declaring those 10 requirements, only then it is suitable. Tomorrow, if he comes with some 2 more requirements, we are not going to allow it. That's why we say it is suited only for the smaller projects. Lastly, project is completely dependent on the project team with minimum client intervention. Why? Because we are not taking requirements from the customer. So where will be their interaction between us and the customer? That's why the client interruption is very low. Disadvantages: it is not desirable for complex project where requirement changes frequently. Okay, where the requirements keep on changing. For such projects, these are not at all suitable, guys. Testing period comes quite late in the development process. This is one of the disadvantage. The testing itself is very, very late. So the chances of we getting the defects are very, very high. Clients' valuable feedback cannot be included with ongoing development phase. Why? Because we do not allow clients to interfere much. So this is all about waterfall model. Any doubts here? Anybody, any doubts? Are you all following? Anita, Bhargavi, Nageshwar?
Yes, ma'am. No doubt, ma'am.
No doubt. Did you get waterfall model, what it is?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Let's move on to the another model, which is called as iterative. Okay, like currently we are using this iterative plus incremental, that is agile. We'll be learning it in upcoming classes in detail. Now I'll tell you what is iterative process. Iterative model, it is also called as spiral model. Okay, it's an alternate name. Take a second. Excuse me. Okay, iterative model. It is also called as a spiral model. What happens in iterative model? Please listen to me carefully. These all phases remain the same. There's requirement phase, design phase, coding phase, testing phase, and evaluating it and releasing it. Evaluation, maintenance, they all mean the same. Okay. Now, what happens in iterative model? For example, there is a customer who gives a requirement. Let us assume this customer gives some 100 requirements. How many requirements, guys? How many requirements he wants a IT company to build a software for? How many requirements?
100, more than 100, I think.
Yes, 100. Okay. Now, this model follows an approach where all the 100 requirements are not implemented at once. For example, if I take Facebook application, let us take the application of Facebook. Now, when we break down the Facebook application, what are the functionalities does Facebook has? Come on, what are the features in Facebook? What all we use in Facebook? Everyone? What features do we use in Facebook? Facebook में क्या क्या use करते हैं हम लोग? There is sending request. There is accepting request feature. There is posting pictures. Yes or no? There is writing a post. Then there is messenger in Facebook. Then the very important is login. Then we also have what? Logout. Okay. Then we have settings. Then we have profile. So together, when we put together all these features, what it becomes? It becomes Facebook application. Now let us assume this customer wants, for example, a Facebook application to build. where this Facebook has some 100 requirements. Assume this Facebook is comprising of 100 requirements. So what is this iterative model? Iterative model is such model where all the 100 requirements are not implemented at once. Instead, we are going to implement it in cycles. Okay. Iterative means running something on loop, doing the same thing again and again. Okay. That is, out of this 100 requirements, in the first iteration, what do? They take some 10 requirements. Okay, let us assume login, log out, send request, accept request, delete request. These all are taken in the first cycle. They are designed, they are developed, they are tested, and they are released. How many requirements, guys? How many requirements did we design, develop, and tested? Everybody? 10 requirements. Agree to this? Yes or no? Please reply.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That means at least the customer is able to use this 10 requirements. Hi, Anna. The customer has with him how many requirements? 10 requirements which are already working. Why? Because out of this 100, we took some 10 requirements where we have designed it, developed it, tested it, and released it. Now, next what we are going to do? We are going to take again some 10 requirements and we will be again developing, designing, testing, and releasing. That is 10 more is added. Then some 15. In this way, we will be executing everything in cycles till we implement all the 100 requirements. Okay. So what is the advantage of this? Customer need not wait till all the requirements are implemented. Do you all agree to this point?
Yes, ma'am. Requirement changes are allowed in this model, ma'am.
Yes, exactly. Requirement changes are also allowed and customer need not wait till all the 100 requirements are implemented. Why? Because we are giving him some working software. Okay. Just in span of 2 to 4 weeks. Okay. Just in span of 2 to 4 weeks, we are giving him the working software. So this is one of the advantages of what? Iterative model. Did this advantage was present in waterfall model? No, right?
No, ma'am.
No, clearly no, right? So here the requirement changes are accepted. Yes, the requirement changes are what? Accepted, but not in between of the cycle. We have to wait till the completion of the cycle, or you can give in the beginning of the cycle. The ongoing cycle cannot be disturbed, guys. Just keep this in mind. Requirement changes can be accommodated. Yes, we can accommodate requirement changes. Are you all following this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. This is all about iterative model. Iterative means what? Loop. Okay, whenever you want to listen a song on any application, what do you, matlab you want to listen that song again and again. What do? We put it on loop. We have one function called loop. We put it on loop. Once you press that loop icon, what it does? It will play that song again and again. The same way, till we execute all the features, that is, till we implement all the features, we are going to design, develop, test, and release. Design, develop, test, and release the requirements in the iteration form, not at once. Okay. The same thing is here in the pointers. Okay. Iterative model. What is iterative model? Iterative process starts with a simple implementation of small set of software requirements and iteratively evolving versions until the complete system is implemented and it is ready to be deployed. Okay. Till we implement the whole application, we are just going to execute them in cycles. What are the advantages? Some working functionality can be developed quickly and early in the life cycle. Why? Because the customer need not wait. We are giving him some working functionality. That's one of the advantage. Results are obtained what? Early and periodically, just in 2 to 4 weeks. Parallel development can be planned and progress can be measured. And what is the disadvantage? System architecture or design issues may arise because not all the requirements are gathered. Yeah, it can happen in any model when the requirements are not clear. Okay. And more resources may be required. Okay. So this is all about the iterative model. Clear everyone with iterative model?
That's clear, ma'am.
Okay. So currently the companies are using one model which is called as agile model, or you can also call it as agile process, or you can also call it as agile methodology. Okay. This is one of the most important SDLC model, guys, because all the companies currently, all the companies or most of the companies use agile model only. What is agile? I'll just give you an introduction. We will continue this in next class, however. Agile is nothing but a combination of iterative and incremental approach. What do you mean by the word iterative? Just now we have seen the model. What do you mean by iterative?
Looping, ma'am.
Very good. Iterative means looping. That is, in simple words, we can say repeating the same thing again and again. Okay. Incremental. What do you mean by the word incremental? Have you heard this word before? Definitely. It's a very generic word. What do you mean by the literal meaning? I'm not asking any technical word. Increment. What do you understand by the word increment?
Addition.
Very good. Increment. For example, we use in our day-to-day lives, my salary is incremented. That means something is added to my existing salary, right? Now, agile model follows iterative plus incremental approach. Okay, that is repeating the same thing again and again, as well as adding. What is that we are adding? That is, we will be adding the requirements. Okay, the requirements are added. Okay, or the requirements are taken or allowed in what? Agile model. Okay, that's what is agile model. It's nothing but the combination of iterative and incremental. Okay, for example, if the customer has given us how many? Some 100 requirements. He has given us 100 requirements, and tomorrow he comes again with some 20 requirements. What do? Firstly, we have to analyze the 20 requirements, whether these requirements make any sense, whether they are valid. If they are valid, how important they are. Okay, if we feel they are very much important to be implemented, then what we do? We accept the requirement changes. That is, we accept the accommodation or addition of the requirements. And this is possible in which model, guys? This is possible in agile model. Okay, because it's a combination of iterative and incremental approach. Because these days, every application keeps on adding new features. Okay, that means it keeps on updating itself every now and then. So for such models, so based on the market requirements, we need an approach which will support the addition of what? New features. That is possible only with the help of what? Agile model. Okay, or you can also call it as agile process or agile methodology. Clear with this, everybody?
Clear, ma'am.
Clear, na? So it is same as iterative, guys. That's why it is said it's a combination of iterative and incremental. The same way here also we will be executing them in sprint. Okay. The way I called in iterative model as iteration, here we call it as sprint. That is same thing. Okay. We are going to design, develop, test and release some 10 requirements. Again, over this, the same thing is repeated for 10 requirements till all the 100 requirements are what? Executed. Okay. So this is what is agile approach. And there are lots of terminologies which we see in agile. Okay. Now we'll see this in detail in the upcoming classes, as it's a very important model when it is software development life cycle. Okay, guys. So today we discussed software development life cycle. In that we have discussed the oldest or the traditional or the important model was waterfall. Then we discussed the iterative model. And then we started off with what? Agile model. Any doubts here? You can ask me. Up to you. No doubts, guys? If you have no doubts, then we will wind up for the day. Anyone, anything to ask?
Madam, what all model is included in agile methodology or different model?
Waterfall model is, repeat your question.
Waterfall model is included with agile methodology or a different model?
No, waterfall model is entirely different model, Nageshwar, where it was used before, like when the development and the application was introduced, like in 80s, okay, in early 80s, that was the time where they used to use this model. Currently, we do not use this model. Why? Because it will not take requirement changes. So what is the use of a model when it is not taking requirement changes? For example, in WhatsApp, today I have only voice call. I want to introduce tomorrow a video call as a customer. Should I be able to do that? Yes. Yes, right. But
Yes.
waterfall model doesn't allow it. That is, the requirements are freezed. You give 10, they work on 10 and release 10. Whenever you want to implement new features, it will not allow. That's why it is the oldest or the traditional model, which is used only for small projects. For example, Nageshwar has only 10 requirements. Okay, it is good for that because it's a small project where tomorrow you will not ask them any changes. But Agile is different. Agile can accommodate any new changes if you want. Okay, for same WhatsApp, tomorrow you ask in Agile, I want video call, they will take that requirement and implement. Getting the difference?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So waterfall is not suitable for very complicated projects. See, all the web-based applications, daily they get updated. Daily we can see some new features. For such models now, waterfall model do not work. Okay?
Yeah. In iterative model, ma'am, iterative model also.
Iterative model, agile model, there is no much difference. Iterative, agile are both one and the same. Agile is a very detailed and very proper methodology. Okay? Which you'll be learning in the upcoming classes because that will take one whole day because there are lots of terminologies. I just introduced you. Okay? It will take the requirement changes also. And the same, the working is we give them 10, 10, 10, 10. That means you can have a working software, right? So customer need not wait. For example, your application will take 6 months of time. So customer need not wait for 6 months. He can at least start using his application with 10 requirements. Agree?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
This model is in Agile. Agile follows this approach. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So we'll be discussing Agile in the upcoming classes very much detail, guys. Then after discussing Agile, we'll move on to testing concepts. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Chalo then, we'll wind up for the day. See you all in the next class. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Have a good day ahead.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye, Bhargavi.
Yeah, thank you, Ashwini ma'am. Thank you, students. We'll meet on Monday, okay?
Okay, bye bye.
Yeah, thank you.